What's up, guys? We're back in the shop. Oh, we're not on the Mustang today. We're doing something that I've been putting off for months because I don't know. I haven't wanted to do it. I've been kind of having like creator block or something where it's just like I have a partial mental image of what I want this to look like, but every time I kind of sit down and think about it, and then I'm like, well, I don't really want to do that, or I'm not real sure, and then I get indecisive, and then I just kind of abandon the project. But I can't abandon it anymore because I need to get it fixed. I need to use this thing this coming weekend. We got to haul something, a new project, and I need fenders. So this is my triple axle gooseneck that I haul everything with. It had a set of like diamond plate sheet metal fenders. For some reason they sat like way up here. I had to load my Duramax one day and I put some blocks of wood down beside the fenders so we wouldn't crush them. Long story short, we ended up crushing the fenders. And a buddy of mine had to haul his tractor while I was working on his trailer, and it crushed the fenders. So for the longest time, I don't think I have a picture. I'll see if I can find one and put it here. But for the longest time, the fenders were like bent down like this. Real annoying. I got them cut off. It's been like this for months, and I've just been using it and hauling it. But I've got a vehicle to pick up this weekend that is a little bit too nice to be slinging rocks and stuff all over it. So I want to put a set of fenders. I want a full set of drive-over fenders, and I also want to extend out the trailer to a full 102 inches all the way across here to match the fenders, to make it wider so I can load bigger trucks, rock crawlers, things like that. Because you never know what we'll get into around here. I've got a whole bunch of C-channel that I picked up. My problem is I've been sitting here for months trying to decide, like, how tall do I make them? How much of a ramp do I do for the drive over part? Like, what exactly do I want them to look like? Do I make the top section and then miter and weld in the bottom section? Do I try to bend it in one piece? All these different scenarios going through my head, and I really can't honestly decide on anything. So here's what I've got. We've got 2.5 inches until the axle bottoms out on the frame rail, and we've got 1.25 inches from the top of our tire to the top of our frame rail. So that gives you 3 3/4 of an inch. We need to be above our tire. I'm thinking we go between 4 and 5 inches just so we have some wiggle room, because tires will expand and contract a little bit with the weather and the rotation at highway speed. So I don't want to do this again. I want to do it once and then be done with it. So I would rather go just a little bit higher than we need and never have to use all that gap, rather than put it too low to make it look better and lower drive over approach, and then we start rubbing the tires. It's a lot easier to just make it a little taller now than having to come back and do it. So what I'm thinking is, I've got a line right here. You can see where the old fender used to be. We're gonna start our new fender here. Kind of modeled up a curve here. Like I said, we're gonna pick somewhere between 4 and 5 inches off that frame rail, which will give us about, I think I'm gonna do 5 inches, because we'll call that an 1.25 inch clearance. So you can imagine the pivot of this angle finder kind of right there, about where the flat top of the fender will end. So our curve will be down over here. That's a pretty gradual curve. I could stretch it out further, but I also want to have as much like true flat deck space up here. So, and I would like to cut the C-channel that I'm going to put in here to extend out the side. I would like to cut and notch around these stake pockets just so I have multiple areas of chaining things down, and I have the D-rings that go in the stake pockets. I may even weld some D-rings on top of the C-channel. I'm not sure about that yet, but I don't really want the fender ramp coming past there. I think this is a good about 1.5 feet, I think. 16 inches. I feel like that's probably shallow enough. I don't want it too steep because then it's hard to drag like dead vehicles over it if I have to use the winch. We want enough of a ramp. But again, I don't want the ramp way out here where then I only have like, I use this trailer for everything. So sometimes I'm hauling like pipe or metal or wood, or I haul pallets. Like I like being able to come in here and have basically like 10 to 12 foot of flat space. I can put 3 or 4 pallets in here. If I have a ramp that comes down like this, it's hard to get the pallet off in there. So I want to just keep it right in there. And that'll also make it pretty even back here too, because I don't know, it'll land somewhere in here, which then gives you a pretty nice transition from your ramps and your dovetail up over the fender. We're gonna cut up some of this C channel and then I guess just start fitting it. It looks like our angle's about 25 degrees. So we'll need to miter we're just mitering the outer edge of the C channel. We need to miter that about 12.5 degrees on both sides. And that should allow it to mate up and we'll have a nice seam over here. So I'm gonna we'll get the top piece cut. We'll get the 2 side pieces cut, or front and back, I guess, side. I'm calling them side pieces because I'm looking at it from the side. We'll get that cut, we'll get it tacked and fit up, and then we'll see how it fits over here. What I'm not sure about is, I'm probably gonna be lazy because today's Tuesday and this thing has to hit the road Saturday morning. And it's currently like 7:30 at night, so I only get a couple hours the next couple days to get this knocked out. I'm probably just gonna get the fenders done just to get the tires covered. And then the rest of this will be another project, but we'll see where we get. If I'm only able to get the 2 fenders done before this weekend's trip, then I'll just throw this into one video. If not, and I end up having enough time to try to get some of the other stuff, I'll make it all one video, but it might just end up 2. One doing the fenders and then another one putting in the rest of the extension pieces. So sitting in here in front of the fan, it's like 100 degrees outside in the sun. I guess I want to throw on a welding shirt, fire up the torch, and we'll get the cut.
I never thought I'd fly over my own state. Something about those city lights were calling out my name. Now mama, don't you cry. You know there'll come a day where I come visit you at home. And if I never stay, the same old now welcome sign, the population getting by, crossing that county line brings back the good old days. With the same old station on the side of that homegrown 2-lane paradise, watching that midnight sky you don't see in LA. This big world will always change, but the small town will stay the same. This concrete tree line's got my head up in the clouds. A good thing that I got my roots back in steady ground. With the same old small church parking lot, I cried when Bobby tied the knot. By God, we never thought he'd give her his last name, or the ring that I wore on the night that we once stayed for.
Whew, man, that was a heck of a lot heavier than it looks. Probably gonna add like 800 pounds to this trailer. Okay, so I said we're gonna go to 5 inches. I need something that's like 3.5 inches tall that I can block it up on top of the tires. Let's just see if we can somehow make this work. not really gonna work because it won't go in anymore. It hits the tires. All right, I got an idea. Don't try this at home, kids. This is a terrible use of free will, most likely. These little jars are exactly 3.5 inches. And it's full of tannerite. And this stuff's probably like 15 years old. The good news is it's A and B. Like this is A, that one's B. So it shouldn't go boom. Super sketchy, but I like it. Oh, I made a slightly critical error. I was using the top of this, the top on this side and the bottom of this side, so it's gonna be a little bit off. But it's really just gonna be low. I think the angle's fine. We're just gonna have to raise it up another inch or so. It's gotta go up 2 inches. So, out with the tannerite bottles, try something different. I think that'll work. It's a little bit higher than I wanted, but honestly, that's probably where the other one was. And really, this could be better if it was like 12-inch channel because it fits fine in here, but it's gonna hit the side of the tire on the sidewall. So maybe maybe another extra, a little bit extra height to room is not gonna hurt. Now I just gotta figure out what do we need to grind right here. Well, we're gonna try to have to cut off this stake pocket. It's gonna be in the way. All right, I made another slight critical error. So the front one's 16 inches. I made the rear one 16 inches, but it transitions into the dovetail, which points down, so it needs to be longer. It's not the end of the world, because I can use this one on the front side for the other fender. So I guess that's gonna be me calling it a night. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not too tall. I like the transition up here. It's a pretty decent gap that'll weld nice. I thought about this before I really did anything, but I didn't do anything about it. So I'll probably make sure that this piece has kind of a backwards rake to match that, and then we'll smooth it out. You'll never see it. And like I said, we'll use this on the other side, and I will figure out how much longer this needs to be, because what's happening is to keep it, I want to keep it at the same angle as the front, just so from the side view everything looks symmetrical. It sticks up here because it's dropped down. So I need to figure out what this drop is, and then we'll calculate a little math and fit it to the other side. But overall, I'm pretty happy. I think it'll serve its purpose. I need to get some flat bar or something like 6-inch put right here to cover that up, but I'm not too worried about that right now. Like I said, I'm really just trying to get these fenders on, so it's not bad for one night. If I can knowing what I know now, I think I can get the other side, probably get this side fit up and the other side fit up tomorrow, and then I can start finishing it out. So that's gonna be it for today. It's pretty late. I'm gonna go in and get some sleep so I can hit it early in the morning at work, and then I can come back here and pick up where we left off. So see y'all in a few. All right, it's day 2. Trying to figure out what this link needs to be, right? So something I like to do, because it's been pretty much close to 24 hours since I've been in here, like double check everything you did the day before. Checked my level. I've checked my height from here to the frame rail, front and back, make sure this is exactly where I want it, because we're about to lock this in once we determine what we need here. I went back up and measured the front angle just to make sure that I am happy with where we're at here, which I've already moved it just a little bit, so we're gonna clean that up. Happy with that angle. I'm trying to come back here and figure out where do we need to be. We're gonna put that flush there. So this piece here is 20 inches. I think I'm gonna go with 20 and a half. So 20 and a half should get us just below our rail here. Now, this is where it gets kind of tricky. You have to kind of make a decision what you want to do. So because we're transitioning into this dovetail, which means this piece needs to be longer. There's one of two ways here. We can either make this piece longer and maintain the same angle as the front. We can make the piece the same length and then make the angle different. Your side profile and how it looks is going to determine like what exactly you're looking for. I'll be honest, I don't know what's best here. There's no right or wrong. You can do it either way. You just have to pick one and go with it. So for me, I think that by making the angle the same and making this a little bit longer, I would rather not do a steeper angle, because this is your primary ramp if you have to load something that's wider than the deck and you need to be on top of the ramps, right? On top of the fenders. You're gonna want the shallower angle here, the easier it is to push up or winch up or drive up, whatever. So I'm not so much concerned with like how this looks, as long as it, you know, doesn't look awful and super rigged up. I want it to look as clean as possible. I mean, we got a bunch of old rusty channel iron here, so we're not going for the most glamorous. We ain't trying to win no car shows. We'll probably go to car shows, hauling something that may win some car shows, but we ain't trying to win no trailer shows or nothing here. We just want it to function. So I'm gonna stick with the same angle, front and back. And then this will just be a little bit longer here. So again, we'll use this one for the front side over there. That's already done. We need to go cut another 99-inch piece for here, and we need to cut two 20.5-inch pieces for the rear, and then we can start fitting this up. One kind of cool thing that I learned, honestly, just doing it, I use these are the spacers for the lift, so if you want to lift up a truck on the 2-post, but you can use whatever. Your tire is curved, right? So I kind of ended up with like a wide range of adjustment, because if this needs to be, the height of this needs to be adjusted up or down, I can just move this, and as it rolls around the tire radius, it will go up. It rolls up here to go down. So honestly worked out really well. I mean, a couple of 2x4s are just something that's even front to back, and you can kind of just shift it up and down the tire and dial it in where you want it to. Our level this way is still, I don't know, it's probably a little bit off. Well, it's not too bad. I'm gonna have to get up there and kind of check level of the trailer and do a bunch of measuring, but when we get this piece tacked in here, we'll be able to kind of lean side to side and set that better. But in the meantime, let's go cut the rest of this beam and we'll get it fit up. Well, I wetted that down yesterday, but I guess I should do it today. I'm gonna go around and checking multiple areas, kind of seeing where you never know really where the trailer's level side to side. It's not level on the floor. We're just kind of leveling it to itself. I mean, part of it is leveling it to itself, but also like what looks good. Stupid ground is not doing good. That's freaking useless. The heck? There's the problem I had earlier with the ground. This bolt is completely melted out of the clamp. Seen better days. I bet you that clamp's 15 years old. Ah, that looks ugly. Forgot to grind it. Dang it. Ah, I don't know. I'm not fixing it again tonight. We got porosity for something. The crazy thing is I welded the whole end down there with the fan blowing on me. There's no airflow here, sweating my butt off, and I got porosity. It's probably just pulling some junk in from the bottom side, but you know, ignore that little section there. I had to go over my tack weld. Not the prettiest, not the worst. I'm happy with it. Now, I know what we have to do. It ain't good till it works. So the question is, do it work? Whole trailer's bouncing. I'd say that's a success. Another hot one today. The real question is, it's 8 o'clock. Do I want to do the other side? Today is Wednesday. I could do the other side tomorrow. And then, so you would think the front half of the width extensions would be easy, but the problem is I got to notch around all those stake pockets. I do the other fender tomorrow, and then Friday I come in here and knock out the rest of the side pieces maybe. One side shouldn't be too terrible because I think I can cut it in one piece. I might have to splice the other one. I don't know if I have enough material. I don't know, but I think I'm done for the night. I will hit it again tomorrow and we'll pick it back up. All right, we're back. Another day, another fender. We got our parts. I saved y'all the headache and the boringness. Went ahead and prepped and ground them. We're ready to go. So now let's get them put on. Y'all know the drill. Spacers, level it. The crazy thing is, of course I didn't have the camera on, but I threw these on here. I threw that up there exactly on my dimension front and back. It's mint. Let's throw the front one on. We'll set our spacing, our distance, and we'll hit the back. All right, well, let's weld it. I think it looks pretty good. Not too bad for just some junk. Shop. It's Friday. I realized that I never really did like a closing from yesterday when I finished the fenders. So I want to try to get the front side extensions done. I'm not worried about the rear right now. That's going to be a little interesting with the ramps and all that stuff. So I want to keep these stake pockets because I still want to use my D-rings. So I've done a little bit of measuring, rough sketch that's quite rough. I need to cut 116.5. I've got all my notches here, a few different measurements so I can kind of cross measure and just make sure, because you got to be careful doing stuff like this. You can see that all of these are just a little bit kind of off from each other. They look pretty symmetrical, but they are not. So you can't assume anything, and we can't even assume that this side's the same as that side. That would probably end terribly. So we're gonna cut our length. We'll lay out this first one because it's pretty easy. I do have this one I cut off the rear that I could kind of use as a template to mark it out. And then we're gonna take a series of measurements from that end to here, here to there, and try to make sure we're in the right spot, because if we get off once or twice here, we can end up half a stake pocket off on our notch, and we don't want none of that. So this is a situation of measuring 10 times and cutting once. I can only do this once because I got just enough C channel. I mean, I guess worst case you could fill in what you cut out if you cut it in the wrong spot, but I don't want to do none of that. We got this little angle here because I didn't want to do a bunch of pre-planning and try to math all that out. I don't even want to do a bunch of math now, so I could take the angle of this, then this 90 degrees, and do the backwards math and figure out what that should be, but that's just a headache. So all I've done is I've set my little angle finder there. I've got my level. I put it on the trailer deck, and I put it on here, and I've set the angle that's pretty close. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly close. As long as we're within a couple degrees, we'll fill it. But what I don't want to do is, like, if we were to do it square, we're going to end up with a gap like that. I don't want to fill that. I don't want to cut a little triangle piece. So we really just want to get it close. That's about 70 degrees, I guess. So I'm going to go start laying out all these parts and pieces, and or not parts and pieces, but I'm gonna start laying out the notches, and we will get that squared away and we'll get the cut. All right, we got it kind of cleaned. I might run into a little problem, I'm not sure yet, but I may not have accounted for enough clearance for the weld in the corner there. We're gonna find out. We're gonna tack weld these on. wanting to go all the way in because it's hitting the corner of them welds. I mean, it's only sticking out like probably a 1/16 of an inch, but I just don't love it. It'll work. I mean, I can weld it, but oh, I don't know. I know one thing, I am exhausted. It has been a long week. It's currently 7:30 on Friday night. I've got to get the trailer hooked up, get all my straps and everything loaded because we got a car to haul tomorrow. The way this is going, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to end up rushing it just to get it done, and I'm going to hate it. I'm pretty happy with the fenders. We got some more trimming to do. I didn't quite trim back enough here. It's hitting. I'm tired, I'm wore out. It's hot. I kind of want to get some sleep because I got to be up at like 5 in the morning to, got an hour drive to go pick up this truck. So I'm just going to pull this off. We're going to set it to the side. I'm going to get my truck and trailer prepped and hooked up, and we're going to finish this video at a later time. And then I'll also be posting tomorrow's road trip slash project. I don't know what you want to call it, but we're picking up a new project tomorrow. We need the trailer. I was hoping to have all this done, but it's not going to be done. So not ideal, but who cares? It's just a day in the life of me. So just an entertaining adventure, I guess, at this point. But yeah, that's my plan. I kind of want to just go inside and go to bed. So I'm gonna turn the camera off. That's gonna be it as a stopping point for today on this video, and I will see you guys later.